Good day, everyone. This is Trading to the Promised Land. I will do a recap of a trade that I took on December 8th, 2023 during non-farm payroll NFP day, and also go over another trade that I wish that I took, but I'll just break it down for all of you. So for those that don't know what NFP is, non-farm payroll, I'll give you a brief summary from Daily FX. So non-farm payroll is an employment report released monthly, usually on the first Friday of every month, and heavily affects the US dollar, the bond market, and the stock market. Current employment statistics program from the US Department of Labor Bureau of Labor Statistics surveys about 141,000 businesses and government agencies, representing approximately 486,000 individual work sites, in order to provide detailed industry data on employment, hours, and earnings of workers on non-farm payrolls. So this is an important one because obviously payroll and jobs affect the current interest rate in the US. So the higher the employment, usually that means more spending budget for individuals, and it usually keeps interest rates high. This time, non-farm payroll kind of have an adverse effect. As you can tell, the previous was 150K. They had forecasted 180K, but the actual was actually 199K. So we'll go to the charts and we'll see what NASDAQ 100 did, and we'll also cover Euro USD. So when it comes to NASDAQ 100, right now you're seeing what the charts looks like at 8 a.m. NFP was actually at 8:30. My trade was a little bit later, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Right now you're seeing 8 a.m. so New York session, but you're also seeing what it did during London session, and you can see that during Asian session the whole time it kind of ranged, which is kind of normal for NASDAQ, because it moves more during the New York session because it represents US companies. So I'll do the replay mode and you'll be able to see how NFP affected the market, especially NASDAQ, and where I took my trade. Let's go. I'll speed it up a little bit more. So that was NFP right there, 8:30. So it went down sharply, but then recovered right after. By 9 a.m. it had already recovered pretty much everything that it had lost. So really NFP didn't really do much, to be honest. As you can tell, like there wasn't a significant trend based on NFP. It just went down and then right back up. And then it continued trending up actually during the day. So my trade was between 10 a.m. and 11. I'll pause here. There were two setups that you could have taken kind of around that time. Here you kind of had a low, if you want to call it like that. Sorry, a high. And you had a break and retest. So it broke through that peak, retested it, and as you can see, there was a sharp increase or influx. That could have given you, see right there is about 100 pips, so that's really good. But that's not where I took my trade, so we will continue. I did identify this zone here for a supply and demand play. This would have been a demand zone where the two contrary candles, two red candles, and then a sharp move up. So we'll see how that played out. It continued going up. Now the only danger with this is that you've already, like you're at high of day now, so I'll pause here. You're currently at high of day. There's nothing on the side. As you saw earlier, Asian session and London just ranged. So now you're at high of day. That's the only danger, but other than that, I did like this play. It broke structure, broke previous high, and you have a clear demand zone here. As you can tell, it went back to the zone, and it's already rejecting, right? So at this point, it's really up to you how you enter and where you put your stop loss. You could put your stop loss just under the rejection here, or you can give yourself a little bit more breathing room. If you do it right under, you can aim for the previous high, which is here, which would give you just a little bit over a 122, which is pretty good. But NASDAQ moves pretty quickly, so you could give yourself a little bit of room and maybe give yourself a 1.5 trade. It's really up to you how you do it based on your trading style. So let's see how that worked out. Continued going up. Boom. It hit your TP for a good trade. This would have given you, if you entered here, 66 or 67 pips, which is not bad when it comes to NASDAQ. And when you consider that it took you 5, 10, 15-ish minutes, call it 17-ish minutes if you want. Depending on your account size, that gave you pretty good money. So it rejected the daily high, and as you can tell, it continued going down afterwards. Doesn't mean that there wasn't another play, but I find that the higher probability trades seem to be between 10 and 11. So that's the NASDAQ trade. Eventually, it came back down and then continued going up. So if some of you were patient, or if you missed that move, you could have gotten another trade out of it. So now for EU, Euro USD. As you can tell, it kind of ranged during London. It didn't do much. And then same during Asian, likely because of anticipation for the NFP. I will do the replay mode and you'll be able to see what NFP did at 8:30. Right now, this chart is showing up to 8 a.m. So we'll press play for NFP at 8:30. Now, for those who don't know, Euro USD moves a lot slower than NAS. So NAS, you'll see a shorter move, but it'll be more pips. Again, you see that NFP shot price down, but by 9 a.m., before 9 a.m., it had already recovered what it had lost. Price continued to go down afterwards. Now, the interesting thing with the EU trade is that you have to look at a higher time frame. So this is a 5-minute chart. I'll pause here and I'll show you what I saw for that trade, even though I missed it. It was a sharp move down, right? So there is a supply zone somewhere before that sharp move down, even though it was made by news. So when you look at the actually 30-minute time frame, here is your supply zone right here. The bullish contrary candle before the sharp move down. Now, you can take your trade on the 30-minute, or you can go back down to the 5-minute. It's really up to you, depending on your trading style. If I go back on the 5-minute, we just wait for price to go back to that area. So it did. And then it rejected from it a couple minutes after. So price did hang out there for a little bit. and then it shot back down, as you can see in a quick moment. I would likely, if I had taken that trade, I would likely have held price, hopefully, until here, where there was a demand zone. So I would have played supply to demand, which would have given you a pretty good trade. If we keep it here, would have given you a 1 to 5, which is amazing, risk to reward, and it would have given you 28 pips. So see, the move was a lot bigger here, but less pips than NAS. So NAS is not really for beginners, I would say, but to each their own. Obviously, it hit the TP and continued going, but this would have been a good trade. I missed that one because I was focusing more on the NAS trade, but this would have been a good one too. NAS and EU are two pairs or instruments that I like to look at. So those were the two trades that I wanted to share during NFP day that occurred December 8th. There was definitely movement in the market. Some people don't like to trade NFP just because it's unpredictable, and that's understandable. But if you wait a little bit, I find that it's easier to trade NFP a little bit later. So that's all for me, folks. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe. Until next time.